Back here live at the People's Bank Invitational here live at the Troy Buchanan Freshman Gym. We apologize for the stream going down, but we got it back up now. 24-19, Hazelwood West on top, and there's a turnover going the other way. Driving inside, layup is good. That is number 0, that's Daejeon Young. And they get it back on the turnover. And here's Jadis Gordon. He's going to get it to Young. Number 4, Jalen Pearson is checked into the game for the Vikings. Here's Ruiz. And now they're going to go inside. And we got a foul. And that is on number 0, Kendall Gurley. Actually, that's on Jalen Pearson. They're going to get him on the foul. So 26-19, Hazelwood West lead. And if you missed it, Francis Howell was down 20-11. They went on an 8-0 run, got it to within 1, and now Hazelwood West has come back with 6 of their own. And they go to the line for 2, or for a 1-and-1 here. 3:53 left to go here in this first half. At the line for the 1-and-1. The first one is good. That makes it an 8-point Hazelwood West lead. 27-19. Second one up and good. And that was number 2, Darius Carpenter.
Yeah, you know, they always say basketball is a game of runs, and Francis Howell themselves had a really strong start of the second quarter here and just kind of lost it, you know. But whenever that was clicking.
And Tobin draws a foul. So he'll go to the line. And that should be a shooting foul on that. So that was on Darius Carpenter, his third. First one for Tobin is up and good. Ben Tobin, 6'5" junior for the Vikings.
Very smooth shot on him, as mentioned before. You know, had some time with the JV squad last year as a sophomore and really proved his role.
And the second one, no good. And back out, and we'll see if the Vikings keep it. They do. Good effort there on the deflection by Kendall Gurley, it looked like.
Yeah, that might have been some good selling from Kendall Gurley there. You know, it looked like it was a bang-bang play, and if you sell it enough, you'll get it.
There's a 3, and it is no good. Rebound, Kendall Gurley. He goes back inside. Layup, no good. Rebound is good as it rolls in for Jude James. And that makes it a 6-point deficit.
And that's the definition of a Jude James points right there on the court. Hard fault rebound and throw it up there, get a good roll, and you got yourself some points.
That'll be going the other way as Kendall Gurley got the deflection. Layup is good, and that makes it a 4-point deficit.
And that would have been Jude James with the steal there. Found him on the right.
I believe it was Kendall Gurley with the steal, and then Jude ended up picking it up, getting it to Kendall Gurley.
Yeah. That was a big play from Jude James, and nice little connection to Gurley there as well.
They're going to go inside, and it is up and good. That's number 24, David Patton Maxwell. So back to a 6-point lead for Hazelwood West. Back inside, deflected away, going the other way, and no foul called on that. Here's Gordon. He's being guarded by Booker Simmons. Gordon's going to pull up in front of Booker Simmons and hit it right in Booker Simmons' face. That's the second time he's done that tonight.
Yeah, and I think I saw a little bit of an exchange there from the two as Gordon was pretty pumped with himself after joining that one, as he should be.
Gurley is going to kick it, and it's turned over again. Going the other way, Wildcats have it. They're up 9, less than 2 minutes to go. And a block there by Jude James as Gordon tried to go up for the layup, and it was blocked out of bounds by Jude James. Good defense there by Jude. 2 new guys in for the Vikings as Gabe James checks back in along with Corey McCauley. Tobin and
You know, this is whenever you expect to see those runs kind of switch over. You got your starting core back out on the court there. A lot of workhorses out there, so expect a big run here from these Vikings, I think, here in the last 2 minutes of this first half.
So Tobin and Kendall Gurley come out of the game. Again, McCauley and Gabe James come back in. 1:40 left to go. Good defense here by the Vikings, putting on some pressure. And a good save there by Dejan Young. And it'll stay with Hazelwood West. Good defensive pressure there by the Vikings, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Almost forced a big turnover.
They're going to go inside. Trying to get it over to Viking defender, and it's good. Rolls in for number 24, David Patton Maxwell. Vikings going the other way. Down 11 now. And we got a foul. Vikings will go to the line. So third foul on David Patton Maxwell. Gabe James will go to the line. So again, the Vikings were down 9, got it to within 1, and now it's back out to an 11-point Hazelwood West lead.
Yeah, you kind of blinked, and next thing you know, you look up and it's an 11-point lead here. This Hazelwood West team has really shown a lot of positive things on the court here.
Gabe James' free throw is in and out, and it'll be going the other way on the 1-and-1. 1:12 to go. Here's a three in the corner, no good. Rebound, Gabe James. Gets it quickly to Booker Simmons. Now back to Jude James. Here is Lomax. He's going to get it to Booker. Lomax to the left wing, bow back up top. Good ball movement here for the Vikings. Inside, good for McCauley.
And you can kind of see Coach Agbo off to the side there saying, where's this all game? You know, you're capable of it. Keep executing it, and you're going to be very successful.
And so that'll be out of bounds off the Vikings as Gordon. No, it looks like they're going to get Gabe James on the foul there, so it'll be a 1-and-1 here for the Wildcats. McCauley's definitely been the Vikings' best inside presence here tonight, as he's gotten some big boards and some big putbacks.
Absolutely, you know, kind of on that little run, he went on a minute run again. 2 rebounds within a minute, or more than that, 4 or 5 rebounds within a minute. And you could kind of definitely see the presence that it has on the court.
First free throw good for Gordon. Second one is up and good. 11-point West lead. Hazelwood West on top of Francis Howell. 30 seconds left to go. And that ball is out of bounds. Bad pass by Lomax. And I think they're going to say it was deflected off a Wildcat, so it'll stay with Francis Howell, fortunately, there.
Might be a generous call there, but the refs have better eyes than we do.
Right on the edge of the line as Lomax just stayed inside. They're going to go inside to McCauley, back out Lomax to the outside, back inside McCauley. Lomax is going to drive in, and he gets it get stuffed. He still got it, puts it back up, draws a foul, and he'll go to the line.
Did a great job drawing the foul there. Got his own rebound, which is huge, a huge part of that play. You know, it goes any other way, then you gave another possession to Hazelwood West, which they will be getting. However, now you got an opportunity to get some points on the board before half here.
So 8 seconds left. Dwight Lomax Jr. at the line. First one no good. Francis Howell's kind of been up and down on their free throws thus far.
Absolutely. You know, if they could have executed a few more than what they did, they'd probably be within, I'd say, 7, 8 points, you know, at least.
So Jude James and Gabe James will come out of the game. Taj Gurley and Kendall Gurley will come into the game. 8 seconds left to go. Second free throw is good. Vikings down 10. They're going to drive inside. Layup is no good, and that'll end the half. So a 10-point Hazelwood West lead And boy, it seemed like right there if Dejan Young would have probably just went up for a normal layup there, he might have had it, but
yeah, might have did a little too much there.
Yeah, he might have just got a little too much on the backboard, but that will conclude the first half as your Francis Howell Vikings down 10 here in their first game of the year against the Hazelwood West Wildcats. Hazelwood West has really done a great job thus far on both sides of the ball, you'd have to say.
Hazelwood West has really shown a lot of strong attributes on the court here tonight. Like I said, they're almost like a gnat team, you know. They're always around you no matter if you're swatting, you know. They're always going to be there, and they're a high-paced team. I got to give credit to Jadis Gordon. I mean, he's a floor general making some huge three-point shots here. Kind of that momentum that we saw Francis Howell going on. His three-pointer absolutely destroyed it. Yeah. And all of a sudden the game started changing, and we started seeing Hazelwood West go on their run. And, you know, Francis Howell, obviously, first game of the season, some kinks need to be shaken off. However, it's not impossible. You're down 10 here going into the first half, or going into the second half. There were some positive things on the court as well that you can build from. You know, whenever we saw a couple string of passes that were completed and knocked around to lead to a basket, that was huge. You know, we saw Egbo's frustration on the side there saying, where's this all game? Because if we do that, we shave some time off the clock, and we can lead up to a basket. It was seemingly easy. And
one thing I'd have to say that Hazelwood West has done a good job is they're making Howell play very fast-paced, and I think they're making them play their game. And obviously Hazelwood West wants to play fast, and they're making Francis Howell play to them. So
and for a first game of the season, that's hard to adjust to. You know? I mean, you get a fast-paced defense like that, you got to do a lot of adjustments. And I'm curious to see how Coach Agbo and his assistant crew kind of adjusts and comes out for the second half. Absolutely.
So we'll be right back here on the Howell Activities Network for this second half here in the first round of the People's Bank Invitational here at Troy Buchanan High School. We'll be right back with you here on the Howell Activities Network.
Whether it's balls and strikes, fouls, or flags, your referees and game officials are a vital part of high school athletics. If you've ever tried your hand at officiating, you know how hard these men and women work, and you certainly know that they would never miss a call intentionally. Keep these things in mind as you attend sporting events. After all, respecting officials and authority figures is one of the most valuable lessons that we could teach our students. This message has been brought to you by your friends at this local radio station and the Missouri State High School Activities Association.
Welcome back to the Howell Activities Network here live at the People's Bank Invitational, Troy High School. It's the Francis Howell Vikings. It's the Hazelwood Cats. The Vikings come down 30-27, and it's been a game that has been very fast-paced so far. And Hazelwood West the Vikings, and we'll see back up season. We talked about that. It's tough to make quick adjustments when it's only the first game of the year, but you kind of feel like that Francis Howell's got to try something a little bit different here.
Well, you know, you got your first half of the season out of the way, you know. So from here on out, it's a new half. It's a new, you know, essentially let's have this be your start of the season. You know, down 10, but you can outscore a team by 10. So this is your new start. Hopefully he made the proper adjustments going into the season or going into this half and get something going. I am curious to see what starters he has this second half, because I mean there were some links out there to start out the game that were struggling a little bit or not necessarily gelling, you know, like they should they planned. So I'm curious to see who he brings out. I'd assume that he'll probably start out with the same guys, but curious.
Yeah, so it looks like the same starting five coming in here for the Vikings. Absolutely. And really for the Vikings, it's a lot of times it's kind of been the offensive boards that's kind of saved them a couple. I said his name wrong, but Corey McCauley, I mean, he's got a couple big-time boards here tonight and putbacks. That's kind of been the difference. Obviously, I mean, like for Francis Howell, if it wasn't for those, I mean, Francis Howell would really be in a tough hole and a tough one to dig out of if, you know, a lot of those if they weren't able to get those offensive boards.
Yeah, well, you know, we mentioned whenever they kind of went on their run there at the start of the second quarter, you know, he really that was really the difference between the rest of the play. I mean, getting those big boards there in that big run, about a minute and a half, was a huge part of this game.
And there's a steal the other way by Jude James, trying to keep his dribble. Lomax will draw the foul. He gets fouled hard. And so he'll go to the line and shoot two.
Jude doing an excellent job keeping that ball alive there, you know, working hard to keep it alive and then play. Found Dwight Lomax and drew the foul. Big opportunity to get first on the board here in the second half.
So Dwight Lomax Jr. to the line. First one good. Junior for the Vikings. Lomax, one of a couple that didn't play football this year.
Yeah, not a whole lot out there.
Yeah. Lomax second one is good. And that cuts the deficit to 8. So the Vikings going to put on a little bit of pressure here. The Wildcats will get it to the outside. They're going to go inside. Good defense by the Vikings. That's going to go the other way. Here's Booker Simmons. He's going to kick it to Jude James. Jude inside. Layup good. And that makes it a 6-point deficit. So an early 4-0 start for the Vikings.
Absolutely. Quick pace, and now they're forcing them to make turnovers. You saw a couple here earlier in the second half, and that's what they have to do. Once this Vikings team gets some momentum, they're hard to stop.
Here's a three in the corner, and it's good. And that is Jonathan Ruiz, who's hit a couple here up and inside for Gabe James, and it is no good. Booker Simmons' putback is good, and that makes it a 7-point game.
The one-handed putback with confidence there from Booker Simmons. That'll get something to get the boys excited about and get going.
Gordon guarded tightly by Jude James. Here's Ruiz again for three, and he hits another one. Boy, he's hit some daggers here early in this second half.
And he's got a pretty shot, let me tell you. I mean, that's a few that we've seen drop tonight, and they've had no problem dropping either.
Booker Simmons and a turnover. Gabe James threw it away. Here's Gordon inside, and probably a good foul there by Gabe James.
Yeah, smart foul for sure. You know, he had a direct lane to the basket after that turnover, so it's about all he could do, and you have some to give here in this half early.
So just almost a little less than 2 minutes into this second half. Vikings down 10. Here's Ruiz, who's been the hot shooter thus far for the Wildcats. It's been a lot of him and Gordon for the Wildcats. Here's a three in the corner. That is no good. We got a foul, though, and a push on Francis Howell. I believe they got Corey McCauley on that. Oh, it'll be on Booker Simmons.
I did not see a whole lot there, in my opinion. However, that's some closer eyes on the court there.
Gordon will get it up top. Here's Ruiz again for three, and no good.
That's another issue that's we're seeing with this Howell Vikings defense.
Gabe James will get it back up top. Booker Simmons going to drive in for the layup. No good. One-handed putback is good again. That's his second one-handed putback of this second half. Yeah.
I mean, do we got a Booker Simmons signature move one game into the season? I mean, he's going up with those confidently.
And we got a foul on Gabe James. Is trying to go for the steal, and they're going to get a push on him. He was not happy about that one. That's his fourth foul. So you'd imagine he's going to go straight to the bench, and that is what he's going to do.
Evan, my issue with that is, that's just a hard-fought ball. There's not a whole lot of contact. They're both going for the ball, 50-50 ball. Let them play real quick, I mean, you're on a fast break. You're going to get some contact drawn. It's a little soft call for me. However, it's a tough fourth foul to get for Gabe James there as well.
A lot of times, when they play faster pace, when each team are playing faster pace, you do tend to get those ticky-tack foul calls a little bit more often, but maybe that's the case here in this, because it has been a very fast-paced game, and both teams are kind of playing a little, maybe too quick at times.
Yeah, and that's a fair point as well. The quicker you play, kind of the more not necessarily clumsy, but the more opportunity for things to kind of get a little bit more contact drawn, and that's kind of what you saw there. Would have been a huge turnover there for the Vikings, though, here early in the second half.
So 2:25 into this second half. Vikings came into this half down 11. They're down 8 right now. Or excuse me, they came into the half down 10, down 8 right now. 43-35. Wildcats have come to play here in this first round matchup of this People's Bank Invitational. Jadis Gordon guarded tightly, got doubled. They're going to go to the outside here. Good defense by the Vikings. Number 23, Donovan Sparks has checked in for the Vikings. Gordon up top. He's going to go to Carpenter. Now to the outside, Gordon. He's going to drive inside. He's got a man open. That's Maxwell, and it's good. And that makes it a 10-point game.
You mentioned Sparks back in this game. He's another player that's returning, and I want you to keep an eye on this kid.
Here's Lomax for three, no good. Rebound, Jude James, and they're going to say it's going the other way. They're going to get Jude on the foul. And they're going to get, I guess, a push on Jude James.
If anything, that's a foul on Donovan Sparks. He was going up for the ball against Sparks there. I mean.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that call right there.
And that's a crucial call. You're down 10 with 5 to go here in the third. That's a big momentum shift.
So 4:48 left to go here in this third quarter. Vikings down 10. And a foul they're going to get on, it looks like, number 23, Donovan Sparks. They're going to get a push on him.
And this is early in the second half here. Right? You already got 5 fouls. I mean, you're going to have to start watching yourselves, because once you get in the bonus with this lead that Hazelwood West has.
Yeah, we're not even 4 minutes in.
Right. I mean, then you start flirting with some danger there.
Daisy-On Young, and a steal for the Vikings.
And you got to capitalize on these steals. They're happening for this West team.
Simmons inside. Up and no good as it rimmed out. As number 32, Ben Tobin, tried to get it up there. And they got a man wide open, Ruiz. Now Jude James gets back. He stuffs him. And it's going to be going the other way. Good defense to get back there by Jude James. Booker Simmons will dribble. Here's Jude James up top. He's going to go inside. And that's good for Donovan Sparks. his first bucket of the year.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of getting into a couple plays happening in between, but Sparks is definitely a player to watch for. You know, he's another returner, very lanky. He's got a huge wingspan that could cause some issues.
And Maxwell with the offensive board and the putback right over Donovan Sparks. And it's back to a 10-point lead and almost a steal. Booker Simmons will drive in. He's going to get it. Jude James. Lomax inside. Layup. No good. Tries to hustle for it. Maxwell with the rebound. No foul. And it's going to go the other way.
You know, one thing that this Howell Vikings team is struggling with right now is capitalizing over turnovers. You know,
here's Gordon, guarded tightly by Lomax, and it's good. Got it right over Lomax. Jadis Gordon has been the man thus tonight.
I will say he's had.
They're going to go inside Sparks. And they got a foul. And they're going to get that one on number 2, Darius Carpenter, I believe.
I will say Gordon's had Booker Simmons' number tonight, man. I mean, offensively, he's been going at him all night and been pretty successful at it right now. I could imagine Booker Simmons is going to turn this around and kind of get this game back going if he wants to get this game in reachable distance here.
.252 left to go here in this third quarter. Webster checks in for the Wildcats. I don't have him on my roster, but there's a foul, and they're going to get that on number 10, Marcon Hayes. So it'll be Donovan Sparks, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. So Vikings down 12. Boy, free throws are going to be very key for both teams here in this one. As again, the Vikings with 5 team fouls already. Hazelwood West with 3. Sparks' first one rattles in.
Yeah, in this situation, especially for the Vikings, free throws are crucial. We saw how big of a factor they played in the first half. And
second one is no good. Rebound, Jude James puts it up and no good. And it's going to go the other way. Here's Gordon. He's going to go inside. Layup, no good. Going the other way, here's Booker Simmons, and they're going to get a foul on number 0, Dejan Young. So number 10, Damon Williams, checking in for the Vikings. Dwight Lomax Jr. coming out of the game. First time we've seen Damon Williams here tonight. Going inside, and there's Donovan Sparks who puts it up and in. He's got 6 third quarter points.
Coming in and making a presence for this Vikings team, which is what you need. You know, your last name's Sparks. Let's live up to it here for this offense.
Ruiz again for 3. Boy, he has been a weapon from 3-point distance here tonight. 52-40. Hazelwood West on top. Jude James is going to pass the outside. Damon Williams is going to shoot a 3 and hit it. Damon Williams, the senior.
First shot of the game, a 3, and he went up with nothing but confidence there to watch it float right on in there.
They're going to go inside. There's Miller, and it's up and good. And that makes it back to an 11-point lead for Hazelwood West.
But this is a game that the Vikings wanted to play all game. They want to go with them. They're battling with them. They're answering points, and this is exactly how they need to play.
Inside and a travel. And that'll be going the other way. That's on Ben Tobin. So going the other way as he walked just a little bit too much there, trying to put it up and in. 1:29 left to go here in the third quarter. And boy, it just kind of seems like Howell just can't get over that hump a little bit. They get to within about 8, and then it just jumps right back to 11.
Yeah, some
inside, there's Miller, and it's up and good. Good look. Inside, and a good dish by Dejan Young.
They're going to have to find an answer for Miller here in the paint. They're finding him every day, and he's got a wide open shot, dropping it with ease. Going to have to find an answer.
There's Damon Williams for 3 again. No good. Rebound. Sparks puts it up and in. It's back to an 11-point deficit for the Vikings. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter. Miller up and good. The Vikings just not getting back on defense. Here's Booker Simmons. Jude James up top. He's going to go inside. Donovan Sparks going to put it up, and no good. Rebound. Marquand Hayes. He's going to go the other way. He's going to throw it up. No good, but Miller gets it back. Couldn't put it up and in. I believe that was a pass. Not really sure what that was, but Miller ended up with it and couldn't put it up.
Most importantly, Vikings got this ball back here. 20 to go in the third here, because they need some points. That's really going into this fourth quarter.
20 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Here's Sparks. Here's Booker Simmons. Simmons going to drive in, puts it up, and got fouled.
Fortunately, this one's going for us here because
didn't seem like much contact on that.
No, absolutely not. You know, it seemed like a lot of calls there for a little bit were anti-Francis Howell Vikings.
So Booker Simmons will shoot two. First one's good.
You know, like we mentioned earlier, this is a huge part of this game for the Vikings here, down 12. Got to make your free throws and make any points that you can get here.
Second one for Booker Simmons as he gets lined up for it. It is up and good, and that makes it back to an 11-point deficit.
Big trip to the line there for Booker Simmons.
Here's Gordon, 5 seconds. Up top, inside. Outside Ruiz for three. No good. And that'll conclude the third quarter. A 58-47 Hazelwood West Wildcat lead. And boy, it just kind of pretty much ended up being a, pretty much back and forth in that one. Pretty even third quarter. You're the Vikings now. You're going to need more than an even quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. They got and were able to kind of connect with some points. However, fortunately for the Vikings also is Ruiz had another wide open three down in the corner, and fortunately it didn't go in, which that's a rarity that we've seen tonight for sure.
Good time to mention one of our sponsors, Dan Main. Are you thinking about buying a new home or refinancing an existing home loan? Call Dan, your mortgage man. Also special discounts available for first responders, educators, and faculty. Call or visit danmain.com today and let's get you home. Dan Main, MLS number 502036. Flat Branch Mortgage Company, MLS number 224149, equal housing lender. So we get ready to start this fourth quarter here on the Howell Activities Network. Game one of the season, and it comes here in round one of this People's Bank Invitational in Troy, Missouri. We are at the 9th grade gym here this evening. Hazelwood West leads 58-47. In a game that's Hazelwood West controlled early, but the third quarter was very back and forth. So we'll see what Francis Howell can do here. They will come out with Gabe James, Ben Tobin. It'll be Taj Gurley, Damon Williams, who's hit a three, and Booker Simmons.
And you know, this group that you have on the court here did make a lot of noise there in that third quarter here, and hopefully they can translate it to the fourth.
Gabe James will inbound it. He'll go to Booker Simmons, and we are underway here in this fourth quarter. The Vikings down 11. Damon Williams inside to Taj Gurley. The ball deflected, and it looks like they're going to get a foul on the Wildcats. Boy, Taj Gurley didn't have much control of that basketball right there, but it'll be a foul.
Most importantly, getting set to the line as well.
So he'll go the line. And it'll be a 1-and-1 here for Taj Gurley. It's up and good. So 9 seconds in, Taj Gurley gets fouled.
Now
try and make
bonus, which is a huge part for the Vikings here. Now you just got to put the ball in your hands and capitalize on them.
Second one for Taj is no good. Rebound Maxwell, and back the other way. So the Vikings get it back to within 10. Damon Williams close here on number 0, and that's going looks like it's going to stay with the Wildcats as Deshaun Young tried to go in on Damon Williams, and it was deflected out by Williams.
And that looked like a lack of certainty down there. You know, a lot of people didn't know where it was going to go because that could have been a huge possession arrow for the Vikings there.
Miller inbound it. He gets it to Gordon. Jadis Gordon drives inside, loses a little bit of control, but another offensive rebound by Maxwell. It's going the other way. Damian Williams has it. He's going to go to Booker Simmons, and they're going to slow it down. Booker Simmons is going to pass the outside. Gabe James for 3 is good. And that makes it a 7-point game.
Right where you
Vikings
started.
going to put on some pressure here.
Right where you started from the first quarter there, Gabe James. You got to get him going here in this fourth and get this game closer. That's a huge 3-point bucket here, getting it within the you know, 7 here.
To the outside, almost lost the handle to Darius Carpenter. And he's going to get it back to his point guard, Gordon. Inside Carpenter. And now it's deflected away. Vikings got a steal. Booker Simmons inside. Damon Williams layup. No good. Booker one-handed putback is good. His 3rd of the game. And that makes it a 5-point game. Timeout, Wildcats.
The signature Booker Simmons one-hand putback. Man,
I mean, that is pure strength right there.
It's a pretty sight, and you know that it's got to be his throwing arm in football because we've seen that a lot. So you can see the strength getting put into that one for the points 3 times tonight, and I guess we better get used to seeing it, huh?
I mean, it looks like to me it's not a fluke. I mean, that looks like something he's been practicing for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Whether it's a game of a knockout horse or whatever it is, he's got that thing down to a T, and if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know, Evan?
So Vikings cut it to within 5 as they were down 11 going into this quarter, and just a minute and a half into this one, and they're already cut the deficit back to within 5. So they've done a much better job offensively and defensively. So 6:39 left to go. 6:39 left. Vikings down 5.
And what a presence in this fourth quarter here from the Vikings. Getting the lead down to 5, and you know, now it's just your game. Play with them and match scores, and hopefully you can get a couple turnovers there with it as well.
And Howell has put on a little bit of pressure here in this fourth quarter as well. And they're going to get it down court, and the layup is good. But sometimes you just throw it over the top and you might have a basket. That was Gordon with the 2 points. Damon Williams will go inside. Kicks it out. Good save there. Inside, Booker Simmons up and no good, but he draws a foul. That's a blocking call on Maxwell. And Booker Simmons will go to the line.
And that's a hard fault basket. I mean, hard fault possession from everybody. Ben Tobin getting that ball and kicking it out. And finding Booker Simmons being able to draw the foul with the drive in the paint.
First one good for Booker Simmons. On that basket for the Wildcats, they just threw it over a football pass down the court and had a wide-open layup.
And that was Gordon there. And, you know, Gordon and Booker Simmons have just been going back and forth with scores here tonight. And it's been a pretty entertaining battle here.
Vikings down 5. Back up top to the outside, Young. Now Gordon. Gordon guarded tightly, getting doubled. Now back to Deshaun Young. Deshaun Young being tightly guarded by Damon Williams. And now back up top to Gordon. Gordon guarded by Booker Simmons. He's going to kick, and it's going to be a charge going the other way. That was Taj Gurley who took it. Or excuse me, Gabe James took it, and we're going to be going the other way.
A huge possession arrow there for the Vikings. It looked like might have been some trouble brewing for Hazelwood West offense there. However, a huge turnover with that charge call, and now the Vikings get another opportunity.
So the Vikings could get it back to within one possession with a 2 or a 3. Here's Damon Williams. Jude James outside. Gabe James for 3. Hits! And it's back to a 2-point game.
And Gabe James has the ice in his veins tonight. I mean, man, confident shooter. We saw it to start the game, and now we're seeing it here at the end of the towards the end of the game.
Jadis Young now for 3. Miller, no good. And that one deflected. Miller gets it back. Dejan Young has it, and it's stripped away. Vikings have numbers. Here's Gabe James for the layup, no good. Jude James, the rebound, puts it up and in, and we're tied.
And there we go. That's a huge possession. And look at Gabe James' leadership, stripping that ball away, being not quite able to make it up, but Jude James coming in and finishing the job for him. Huge effort there, and we saw that a lot on the football field too, not to mention.
And they're going to get the Vikings on a foul. That's Booker Simmons, and he said, yeah, that was me on that one.
Yeah, no kidding. That, like I said, that's the same connection we saw on the football field. Gabe James and Jude James being able to get the rebound and put it back for the tying points of the game.
So Damon Williams comes out of the game. Dwight Lomax Jr. comes back in, and what a spark Damon Williams was, though. When he came into the game, kind of a lot of things changed for the Vikings.
Absolutely. He was an offensive presence and defensive presence as well. He did a lot of off-the-ball work and knocked down a couple threes while he was in here as well.
Inside Jan, he's going to kick it. Back out top Gordon. Gordon to the right side, and it's stripped away, going the other way. Booker Simmons has it. 4:35 left to go here in this one. Jude James goes cross court. Lomax. Back out top Booker. Booker Simmons is going to drive in. He's going to look for a man open. Here's Lomax. He'll shoot a 3. No good, and we're going to be going the other way. And I believe they got Taj Gurley on a push. So off the ball foul there on Taj Gurley. That's his second. And the 7th foul on the Vikings. So that'll put Hazelwood West into the bonus.
You know, we mentioned it earlier. Fortunately enough for Francis Howell, you know, they stayed disciplined, and they're just now getting into the bonus here for Hazelwood West.
And Hazelwood West, Francis Howell had 5 early fouls, and since then they've kind of slowed down with the fouls. And boy, that's been huge, because otherwise, you know, this could be a 5 or 6 point game.
5 fouls 4 minutes into the first half, so they had to stay disciplined. And now this is whoever can capitalize on these free throws, which we've seen some struggles here for the Vikings.
Dejan Young for the 1-and-1, no good. Rebound, Taj Gurley. Knotted up at 60. 4:15 left to go in this first round matchup of the People's Bank Invitational. It's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Vikings. Deflected by Gordon. And we got a timeout called by Francis Howell.
Smart taking timeout here from Coach Agbo. You know, we just saw almost what could have been a dangerous pass that could have, essentially transferred the possession. And now it's time to get the team under control and get a great game plan how you want to finish these last 4 minutes off.
We like to thank one of our great sponsors of the Howell Activities Network and People Savings Bank. People Savings Bank is the people you know and trust. We're also brought to you by Jeff Earhart. Spending too much on car insurance and need insurance for that new home? Don't stray too far from Howell and contact Coach Jeff Earhart at State Farm Insurance for your auto, home, property, business, life, and health needs. Again, thanks for joining us on the Howell Activities Network. I am Evan Webb alongside my color man, Michael Harvey. We are also got Josh Robinson here tonight running the camera. Josh will be on for the next game.
Man, I know the basketball team's got a good group, but man, does this Francis Howell Activity Network got a good group. I thought football was good. Now we add Josh Robinson to the mix. That's a dangerous combo right there.
.412 left to go here in this one. Jude James will inbound it. So what a game this has turned out to be, in a game that Hazelwood West controlled for most of it. Howell has fought back. They've evened it up at 60. Jude James has it up top. Guarded closely by Ruiz. It's tipped away, and it's going to go the other way. Jan has it. Dejan Young guarded closely by Gabe James. Now they're going to get it inside, and we got a foul before the basket. And so I believe this will be a 1-and-1.
Should be. It didn't look like he was going up for the basket there.
So that was on Booker Simmons, his third. Marquand Haynes to the line for the Wildcats. 3:55 left to go here in this one. Free throw up and good for Haynes. Wildcats back up 1. Haynes' second one is up and no good. Rebound, and it's going to stay with the Wildcats. They're going to say it was off of Taj Gurley.
Interesting decision for Gurley to let that ball go out. I thought it definitely was off him, and maybe he was trying to sell it that it was off the other guy, or off at
I think he second-guessed it. I think he, thought about saving it, and then it was too late. And we got a foul before the ball's even inbounded. And they're going to get Francis Howell for that one.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that.
So Booker Simmons now with 4, and that is very significant.
That can't happen. Not on an inbounds play here after they just missed a big free throw, Got to stay disciplined in these games.
And the Vikings down 1. Dejan Young at the line. Shooting a 1-and-1, and it's good. Hazelwood West back up 2. Second free throw is up and good. Nothing but money there for Deshaun Young. Hazelwood West back up 3. Inside, and it's no good. Rebound Booker Simmons, and he got fouled. Or somebody got fouled underneath. They're going to say Booker did, so he'll go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. So David Patton Maxwell with his 5th, and he'll be done. So that is significant because he's been their top rebounder tonight.
Absolutely. He's been a presence off the ball, and like you said, under the basket, he's been dominating. So that's a huge part for the Francis Howell Vikings missing for the Hazelwood West.
This is actually shooting 2, first one good. So it was a shooting foul. Gabe James checks back in. Booker's second one is good. Back to a 1-point deficit for the Vikings. 3:45 left to go in game 1 of the season. Vikings put on a little bit of pressure here. Haynes has it. He's going to be the ball handler now. And it's stolen away. Booker Simmons down court. Gabe James layup. No good. Follow. Jude. No. Gabe James back out to Taj Gurley. Deflected. And they're going to get a half court. And they're going to get an over and back. They're going to say that was off of Gabe James. From my angle, it looked like it was tipped by a Wildcat, but boy, close to tell. Tough to tell. And they're going to get an over and back. So that'll be Wildcat basketball. So a backcourt violation is they're going to say that was tipped, or all Gabe James on that one. I thought it was a tip by a Wildcat for sure.
From where we were, definitely. I think that's a no-brainer. However, I guess that they're going to say it's half court.
Jadis Gordon, tip pass to Young. Putting on some tough pressure as the Vikings, and it is deflected. Ball's loose on the ground. Jude James with it, and they have it. They're going to go the other way. Gabe James with it. He's going to go to the hoop. He gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. Good job by Gabe James. Good defense there by the Vikings to get that huge turnover.
You know, I always mention commentating the football games how aggressive Jude James was on the basketball court and on the football field. He's a gritty player, and you saw it right there, forcing a huge turnover, giving the Vikings opportunity here.
Gabe James free throw, no good. Free throws have sometimes been an issue here tonight for the Vikings. Now,
definitely have played a factor.
Again, it is the first game of the year, but something to watch out for the rest of the way. Gabe James' second one's good, and that knots it up at 63.
And what a game we've had here for the what a game we've had for the first game of the season here with the Vikings.
Gordon being guarded tightly by Jude James, and it's a steal by Taj Gurley as an errant pass. Lomax will go cross court. Gabe James will drive in. He'll go cross court, and he didn't have his man, Lomax. And that'll be going the other way. So Gabe James was looking for Lomax and didn't have him.
Just had him, missed it right there.
It kind of seemed like maybe Gabe could have shot that ball potentially.
Yeah, typically that's what I was kind of looking for. And Lomax didn't quite pinch in like he wanted him to there, forcing the turnover there. Now it's time for foul defense, which we've been seeing a very, very promising Howell defense within this fourth quarter. You know, they forcing a lot of turnovers. It's just such a high-paced game. I mean, at this point, a lot of mistakes are kind of being made on that offensive side for both teams, but that's because these defenses are so high-paced and so active.
Knotted up at 63. Timeout on the floor. 2:44 left to go. Again, 10 team fouls by the Wildcats, 9 on Francis Howell.
And I don't know about you, Evan, but if most of these games are going to be like this, we're going to have a long season of broadcasting.
Yeah.
You know, we had a couple buzzer beaters last year here for the Vikings, and those were enough for us, you know.
See what Grant Agbo, excuse me, drew up there for the Vikings. 2:44 left to go here in this one. Darius Carpenter will inbound for the Wildcats. And again for the Wildcats, David Patton Maxwell fouled out, who's one of their top rebounders. And that was very significant. He had a big game. Lomax guarding Young tightly. Young's going to dribble, and it looks like he might have traveled. And they're going to get a foul on Lomax. Boy, it kind of seemed like there was a walk before that foul, but they're going to say it was a foul on Dwight Lomax.
And I will say here recently, they've been pretty whistle happy. We've seen a couple questionable calls here.
So 10th team foul on Francis Howell. Dejon Young at the line. First one in and out. So both teams into the double bonus. Dejon Young's second one is up and good. Wildcats back up 1. 2:30 left to go. Booker Simmons dribbles up court. He's with 4 fouls. He's passed it to Lomax. Now to Jude James. Jude James outside. Taj Gurley. Here's Gabe. Inside Jude James. Back out Taj. He's going to drive in. Taj Gurley 2. No good, but he gets the foul. A blocking call, and I believe they got Gordon on that one.
Initially there, Evan, I thought that was a poor decision driving to the basket, but he's done it all game. He's drawn those fouls under the basket. He gets an opportunity to go to the line, which is a huge, huge play for the Vikings here late in this fourth quarter.
Taj Gurley at the line. He'll shoot 2. First one up and good. That ties it up at 64. This is a big one here. 2:11 left to go. Taj Gurley lines it up for his second one. It is up and good. Good job, Taj Gurley. That gives the Vikings a 1-point lead, 65-64.
Confident on the line here with Taj Gurley.
And the ball is stripped. Lomax, too good. He stripped it right away from Deshaun Young. And the Vikings lead by 3. And we got a foul called on Jude James. So an off-the-ball foul. And so the Wildcats will go and shoot 2.
And that's a tough call. I mean, you saw Mutual grabbing jersey. You gotta let that go right now. You gotta let that go in a game like this. I mean, you have both sides, both parties. It's almost an interference. Whenever you got 2 receivers, let them go at it, and you can't call one side there.
So Jadis Gordon, the senior, will go to the line for the Wildcats. They're down 3. Gordon's free throw is no good. Big free throw here. 67-64, Francis Howell on top. Boy, this would be one that they would escape if they were able to hang on. Gordon's free throw is good, second one. And that makes it a 67-65 game. Lomax will bring it up. The starting 5 out there for the Vikings. Well, everybody but Taj Gurley. And a timeout called by Francis Howell.
Smart timeout again from Agbo. You know, he's calling them at all the right times here. You know, his team was a little rattled after that. A weaker call with tugging on the jerseys there with the throw-in. But, get your team settled. You have the lead. And now you just organize your team on how to finish out these last 2 minutes of this game.
So 1:50 left to go. If you're Francis Howell, what do you think you need to do here on offense?
Shave as much time as you can. You know, you've seen a lot of plays. I know this Hazelwood West defense has been very quick pace and very active, but at this point, shave as much time. You've had a couple plays where you were able to knock it and dish it around kind of in the paint. If you're able to do that, it's all about off-the-ball work with this team at this point because you know they're going to be active on their side. Off-the-ball work, be able to connect with their players and shave as much points as you can, and obviously points are huge right now for this team. So if you can walk away with shaving potentially, 30 seconds, if not 40 maybe, that's a huge possession here for the Vikings.
Vikings lead 2. They will have the ball. So Jude James will inbound it for Francis Howell. Francis Howell going with Booker Simmons, Jude James, Gabe James, Taj Gurley, and Dwight Lomax.
I just got to give all the credit in the world for Lomax on that turnover. I mean, that might be the biggest play of the game here.
And one that Young didn't even see coming either.
Oh, not at all. I mean, absolutely not. I mean, how can you? You don't see that effort on a throw-in.
So Lomax will run the point here, and he gets stripped by Young. It's going the other way. Young to the hoop, and a blocking foul on Dwight Lomax. And going to the line and shooting 2 will be Deshaun Young. So tough turnover there by Lomax. We just talked about his turnover on this end, and then just kind of lost his dribble there.
That's the thing about basketball. There's always going to be a next play, and it's up
free
to
throw,
you
no
what you
good.
do with it. I mean, there's always going to be a next play, and you got to keep going. You make one bad play, you got another play to get going, and that goes with that right there. You always have another play to make up for it.
Wildcats have struggled with their free throws down the stretch here. Young's second one is good. And that makes it a 1-point game. 67-66. Francis Howell on top. Booker Simmons has it. Here's Lomax. He's going to get it to Booker Simmons. Outside, Gabe James. Jude James. Back to Gabe James. Gabe James will dribble. Get it to Lomax. 1:20 left to go. Lomax is going to kick it back out. Booker Simmons. Vikings look like they're trying to take some time off the clock here. Booker Simmons getting pressured, and we got a jump ball. And it'll be Wildcat basketball. And the officials are going to the Viking sideline and telling them to settle down a little bit. But we got a jump ball, and it'll be Wildcat basketball.
One thing you can't do is pick the ball up against a defense like this. You don't have that time. You don't have that luxury, especially in a game with this little time to go. You know, you have to be quick, and you can't pick it up. And unfortunately, Booker Simmons picked it up, and possession arrow was towards the Wildcats there.
So 1:04 left to go, and it looks like we're going to have a little timeout here. Not really sure what's going on here. So the Hazelwood West coach is coming and talking to the officials. I don't think either team took a timeout.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of this, Evan. This game might be all over the place here. And I can promise you right now it's going to be a climactic ending here at Troy, and a very climactic first game for the Francis Howell Vikings of this tournament.
Dejan Young with it. He's guarded closely by Dwight Lomax. Less than a minute to go. And we got it over and back. He went backwards. Good defense by Dwight Lomax, and we're going to go the other way.
Lomax's defensive presence is very, very strong. I mean, he forced that over and back, and possession arrow back towards the Vikings.
Jude James will inbound this, and if you're the Vikings, just no turnovers here. And a timeout called by Francis Howell. So Grant Agbo is going to talk this one over. 55 seconds left to go here in this one. Vikings lead by 1.
What
it's been a good one.
What a game. Like I said, if we're going to have this all year, Evan, we might have some heart conditions after this one, because this is all over the place. I mean, you never know what happens here. I mean, just now we saw Booker Simmons pick up a pass and get the possession arrow towards the Hazelwood West team, and then we saw a shirt on the court. We thought it was a timeout, then it wasn't a timeout, and now we just saw an over and back for another possession arrow towards the Vikings. And at this point, my prediction on what's going to happen here is as good as dirt, because I have no clue with the way this game's going.
So the winner of this one will face DeSmet on Wednesday. And DeSmet, a very good team. We saw them in the first game here tonight. Very, very talented team.
Got close to the 100 mark, and anytime a high school team's doing that against no matter who they're playing, they got a pretty solid team.
52 seconds to go. Gabe James with it. He's going to dribble. Gets it to Taj Gurley. Taj Gurley being pressured, and there's a foul on Dejan Young. So Taj Gurley will go to the line.
The problem about all these free throw shots, Evan, is as an announcer, you really can't have anything to say, because as soon as you say something, who knows what happens.
I feel like we jinxed the Lomax turnover earlier. Gurley's first one is good. Boy, Taj Gurley's been huge at the line thus far for the Vikings. And then again, I'm going to knock on wood.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said it, not me.
Taj Gurley's second one, up and good.
All right. Now,
that's why you always say knock on wood.
Yeah, we've established that the jinx isn't with us this year.
69-66. Vikings on top. Young's layup, no good. It's going to go the other way. Vikings up 3. Gabe James with it. He's going to get it to his point guard, Booker Simmons, and he gets fouled. Less than 30 seconds to go. 29.9 left. And Booker Simmons will go to the line for 2 big free throws, and he's been money all night from the strike.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been making them, knocking them in, and that's one thing about these Howell Vikings is they have been they've improved here in this fourth quarter.
So a free throw here would make it a 2-possession game. First one up and no good for Booker Simmons. 29.9 left to go. Booker's second one is in and out. We're going to go the other way. Wildcats with it. They'll call timeout. 26.9 left to go here in this one.
What a game, Evan. Like I said, this outcome is unpredictable. 26.9 seconds left, 69-66, up by 3. I couldn't tell you what's going to happen next here. And I definitely wouldn't have been able to tell you that Smash Mouth was going to come on next on the intercom here. Let me tell you, we've seen it all tonight in Shore Buchanan High School. And what a game we've had on our hands tonight.
So 26.9 left to go. Vikings will be on defense. Wildcats will have the ball with a chance to tie it with a 3, cut it within 1 with a 2. If you're the Wildcats right here, what do you think you try and do?
I think you put it in Jadis Gordon's hand no matter what. I mean, he's been your guy all night. You know he's going to be driving it up the court for you. And at this point, you're looking for a 3, so you try and find
Ruiz.
Jonathan Ruiz here.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be open. He's been open all day for his three-pointers. I don't think you're going to have that luxury tonight.
Driving inside for the layup, no good. Tipped out, and it looks like it's off of Viking. Just off of Dwight Lomax Jr.
And look at Lomax.
As Darius Carpenter tried to drive it inside.
Lomax putting in that effort under the basket there. You know, that's a huge pressure being forced. And you got 18.5 seconds left here for the West Wildcats. So
Ruiz will inbound it. He goes inside to Miller. It's up and good, and 1. The foul is on Taj Gurley.
And his feet were set as much as
Yeah.
you can there. There's no saying anything about that. I mean,
so Miller will go to the line for the N1. A big free throw here. A free throw here will tie it up. 18.5 left to go. Got to be ready to rebound if you're the Vikings. Free throw up and good. It rattles home. 18.5 to go. Booker Simmons with it. He's going to dribble up court. Inside, Taj Gurley loses the handle. He goes back out. Gabe James has it. 9 seconds. Timeout called by Agbo. 8.6 left to go. We're knotted up at 69 here. So Agbo decides to go with the timeout.
and it kind of hurt to see that basket go in there, Evan. But, you know, again, I mean, that's a smart timeout. I just wasn't sure if a ref was going to be able to pick it up, you know, which you see all the time. But, you know, the Vikings know what they got to do here. I mean, you know who the hot hand is, and you got 8 seconds left to go. You don't necessarily need a three. However, it'd be very beneficial to kind of drain this clock and end it with it.
So the Vikings will go with Lomax, Gabe James, Booker Simmons, Taj Gurley, and Jude James. Jude James will inbound it here. And actually now checking in. Well, now that he's not going to check in, they're going to say he can't check in yet. So 8 seconds to go. Gabe James with the basketball. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Gabe James will shoot. Taj Gurley in the corner for three. It's no good. Rebounded by the Wildcats, and we're going to overtime here in this first round matchup at the People's Bank Invitational.
What a game we've seen here tonight, Evan. I mean, you can't write this up. This is the first game of the season, and the Vikings really turned it around. I mean, not the prettiest have played it early, but they've really kind of taken this game on and kind of what it felt like was in their whole control the second half. I mean, outscored them by 10 here in this fourth quarter, and really have shifted that momentum here. Unfortunate that they couldn't get a basket there. I don't know if that was the most well-drawn-out play.
They did have an open shot, but maybe not the open shot to the guy you wanted. You know,
I was about to, it's not Taj Gurley's role necessarily. I mean, he plays a different role under the basket, drawing those fouls, not necessarily around the arc. But you got 4 more minutes to kind of get your first win of the season here. Big time for the Howell Vikings. I will say that, you know, we mentioned Patton Maxwell is still out of this game. and the Vikings still have all five of their starters out there, and ready to take on this overtime in basketball.
So Jude James will be on the tip here for the Howell Vikings. So as we begin OT, Miller will be the man tipping for the Wildcats. Again, David Patton Maxwell fouled out of the game for the Wildcats, and this one's tipped, and it's going to go to the Wildcats. So Wildcats will have possession here.
Now, I've never really seen that. You would think that if it goes out of bounds, just re-jump.
I mean, so we begin OT.
Seen
Gordon
it all
brings
tonight,
it up.
Evan.
And it's tipped, and they're going to keep it with the Wildcats. Good defense there by Dwight Lomax. Carpenter will inbound it here to Gordon. 3:45 left to go. Gordon to the outside, Miller. Here's Dejan Young. Back out top. Gordon guarded by Gabe James. Now they double him. Young to Gordon. Gordon to the outside. Carpenter's going to drive in, and it is going the other way. Yep. Good set there by Gabe James.
Absolutely drew that foul perfectly, and that's what you need to do, especially as they were kind of moving the ball all around. You ended on a play like that. That's huge for the Vikings, and like you said, perfectly placed feet to draw that.
So Booker Simmons will dribble it up. 3:18 to go here in OT. Here's a three by Gabe James. It is no good. Long rebound, rebounded by Dwight Lomax. Back out to Jude James. Back out Gabe James inside. Booker, he's going to get fouled. And before the basket, so Booker Simmons will go to the line.
They wanted the and one, obviously. However,
yeah.
I think it was on the floor there.
So the foul on the floor. Booker kind of looked like he wanted a shooting foul on that one, but definitely on the floor. So the officials coming together around the scorers table. Knotted up at 69 in overtime here in this first round matchup.
I don't know what the conversation could have been there.
Yeah.
Looks like the ref just has to see the line wrap again. So I don't see how that could be the case.
One of the questions is, I think, who was the foul on, but you'd imagine that couldn't have been too hard. I mean,
looks like it might have been on Carpenter there, and I think that could end his night actually. Which,
yep, I think that was the discussion was if it was on Carpenter or not, and if it is on Carpenter, that'll be it for him.
All right.
So Darius Carpenter goes to the bench. So now the Wildcats without two of their starters, Patton Maxwell and Carpenter. Booker Simmons' free throw is in and out, and it was not a one-on-one.
So how do you call it on the – oh, never mind. Slip up. It's the first game of the season, remember, Evan.
Booker Simmons' second one's good. That'll give the Vikings a lead, 70-69. Bringing it up, Jadis Gordon. He's guarded closely by Jude James. Gordon will kick it to the outside, and air it pass. Ruiz saves it. Back out top to Gordon. Gordon to the outside. Now to number 10, that's Marquand Haynes. To 11, Khalil Johnson. And a tough pass. Gordon keeps it. He puts it up for 2. No good. Rebound Booker Simmons going the other way. 2:30 left to go. Vikings lead by 1. Simmons guarded closely by Ruiz. Now Gabe James.
Now you just keep it as long as you can, right? That's the beauty of high school basketball. No shot clock. Just keep knocking it as much as you can. You got the lead.
Booker Simmons will draw the foul. That's on Ruiz.
And that's what you force there. You force a team that has to foul you because that's the only way. You know, you got that little connection going, and almost a frustration foul from the other team there.
Booker Simmons will go to the line. He'll shoot 2. First one good. That makes it a 2-point Vikings lead. Ben Tobin checks in for Taj Gurley. Taj Gurley looks a little bit gassed coming out of the game right there. Booker Simmons' second free throw rattles home.
I could imagine he put in some effective minutes there, and he was going nonstop. It's a huge 2 threes made by the Vikings there, though. Put it at a 3-point lead.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. Gordon inside 2, no good. Rebound blocked by Gabe James. Now Miller puts it up, no good. Going the other way, and a foul called on Miller. And Gabe James will go to the line for 2.
Gabe and Jude, a little back-to-back block action, the block show, the James block show, huh?
So 1:50 left to go here in this one. This would make it a 2-possession game. First one up and good for Gabe James.
Puts at 2 possessions, which is huge.
73-69 at the moment. Second one for Gabe. Up and good. Nicely done there by Gabe James. That makes it a 5-point Francis Howell lead.
And Gabe James coming into this first game of the season for basketball. I told you.
There's a 3 offline. Miller rebound, got fouled from behind.
You know, we already know the presence that he brought to this Howell team on the football field. Now he's bringing it on the basketball court. What an athlete for the Howell Vikings this year so far.
1:37 left to go. Actually, this is Amani Webster at the line, as we don't have him on our roster. So first free throw, no good for Webster. I think I had accidentally been calling him Miller all night.
Yeah, I think you're right. And he's
Webster's second one, no good. Rebound, though, up and good for Khalil Johnson. That is huge, as it keeps the Wildcats in it.
And he's been very effective, too, tonight. So I'm surprised that he isn't on our roster there. And that, like you said, keeps the Wildcats in it. And we're in a similar situation as we were in regulation here, Evan.
So, again, 1:34 left to go. The Vikings with a 3-point lead.
And, you know, if most of the games that we're commentating are going to be 74-71, 1, we might see the highest scoring team in the state. Yeah. And 2, we might see the team allowing the most points in the state because, man, this game has been all over the place. But we knew that going into this game. I mean, Hazelwood West coming in was a very high-paced team, and all it took was how to match their energy, and finally they got it going there in the fourth quarter. They started matching him all second half, but really it was a game changer, as you mentioned, whenever it happened. Pat and Maxwell going down. We knew it would kind of affect this game for sure.
Well, again, he's been their top rebounder all night. He had some big offensive boards as well and putbacks. So that was really tough for this Wildcat team to lose him, and now they've lost both him and Darius Carpenter. Inside, bad pass by Lomax, and he's fortunate that it went off a Wildcat. He tried to sneak that one in there to Ben Tobin, but kind of a sloppy pass. But Vikings fortunate enough to keep the ball here. Gabe James will go back out to Lomax. He'll set the offense. Booker Simmons up top, guarded closely by Gordon. Lomax with 1:10 left to go. Close pass. Booker Simmons.
And this is a great possession for the Vikings here, honestly.
Inside, and it's tipped away. It's going to go the other way, stolen by Ruiz. Here's Gordon. The other end, a minute left to go. Gordon will drive in for 2, and it's good. And that makes it a 1-point game. Gabe James trying to shut off a defender. 45 seconds to go. Booker Simmons. They're not fouling him yet. 40 seconds. Guarding him closely. Vikings still up 1, 74-73. 32 seconds. Gabe James guarded by Gordon. Now Booker Simmons guarded by Johnson.
What this is saying is Hazelwood West is comfortable with having the last shot. I mean,
imagine they got a foul here quickly. Booker Simmons with the ball, and we got a foul. So they're going to get Khalil Johnson on that one. And Booker Simmons will go to the line for 2. Were you kind of surprised to see him go let it go that long?
Absolutely. Like I said, I mean, what they were saying pretty much letting them go is they were comfortable with taking the last shot.
They were going for a turnover, basically.
100%. And it wasn't work. If they weren't showing the effort for it, for sure.
Simmons free throw, no good. Third missed free throw this quarter for Booker Simmons. 16 seconds left to go. Booker Simmons lines it up for the second one. It's good. Vikings lead by 2.
That first one was important. That second one was crucial that he made there. I mean,
75-73. Wildcats will inbound it. Johnson stolen by and it's good. Or Gabe James, excuse me, puts it up and in. 77-73. Gordon shoots a 3. No good. Rebound, Webster. No. Taj Gurley's got it. They're going to take it out. That'll do it. Vikings hang on to win it. 77-73. What a win for Francis Howell in a game that they trailed by 11. Going into the fourth quarter, they force overtime and they get a big win.
They aren't all pretty, I will say that. And this is the first game of the season, and you mark off your first win under Coach Agbo with you mark off your first game with the win under Coach Agbo, which is huge. It took a little bit for them to get going. However, that's a huge win and showed a lot about the grit of this team. I mean, came on, made adjustments in that fourth quarter, and was a huge win for the Vikings. Gabe James absolutely made a huge difference in this game. Was making shots left after right. Jude James forcing turnovers, just like he left off last year. A huge result for the Vikings here against the Hazelwood West team. And like I said, they aren't all pretty, but they walk away with the win here. First game of the help me out with the name of the tournament here.
The People's Bank Invitational.
People's Bank Invitational, and an absolutely barn burner here for the first game of the season for the Vikings.
So the Vikings will play again on Wednesday against DeSmet. And DeSmet, we saw in the first game, almost put up 100 on the board. But we should be in for a good one in that one. Two teams that, and of course the Vikings had to overcome adversity a little bit here in this one as they, again, were down 11 going into the fourth quarter. And they did a good job getting back into this game and forcing overtime. So any last thoughts for you, Michael?
Well, going into that DeSmet game, if it's anything like this game, we might see an 80-85 game. I mean, that's going to be a high-paced game. But like I said, Vikings capitalized with the win here in their first game of the season, and Coach Agbo gets his first varsity win with the Francis Howell Vikings. Excellent performance there in the fourth quarter, and like I said, showed a lot of grit tonight for the Vikings. Excited for this next game against DeSmet here.
So we will be right back with you on Wednesday here at Troy Buchanan. We'll be at the main high school gym for that one, as it'll be DeSmet against Francis Howell in the semifinal matchup of this People's Bank Invitational. I am Evan Webb alongside Mike